Okay, it's 8:08. Something weird is going on because this woman contacted me looking for Brian. Now, she said something about him being her doctor and she needs meds. I don't know. So I'm going to write down what she says on the voicemail and then reach out to her. It's weird. She was in the hospital with him, probably at Shands. That's my guess, that she was locked up at Shands with him. He got 10 rounds of electric shock therapy. 10. And he was still helping people. This young lady is not the first. So, looks like she's from Jennings. I don't even know where Jennings is. So, this is gonna have to be a whole new piece of paper, isn't it? Because I don't want to put it on my Shel Silverstein. Oh, that got all wet. You know what? Screw it. This page is gonna have to do. Jennings. I'm gonna have to call her. She left me a 49-second message. And at first, I thought it was my friend Caroline, but when I saw the name, but it wasn't, which would have been weird if she reached out today, or if Savage, if I find Savage or Rain sometime today. Oh my God, that would be weird. And because today has been, I took Bubba to get fixed. And Savage had a fit when he knew that I was taking responsibility for him by taking him to the vet, and I was going to get his fleas taken care of, and I was getting he had a yeast infection in both his ears. He was a mess when I took him over. And I only took him over because of Rain. Thank you, Josh, for bringing me Rain. You brought me Rain, which introduced me to Savage. And then I acquired Cash. That was his name. But my mom didn't like Cash. She didn't like Johnny Cash. And my cousins are like, what? I said, I know, right? So, his name was Bubba. And I just dropped him off to get fixed. And I'm having my coffee, go to the bathroom, because it's what I do a lot. And come back to my phone, and here's the voicemail. Weird things are afoot at the Circle K. If you know that, my friends. Some people do, some people don't. Keanu, do. Point Break, don't. Some people don't, some people do. And it's okay. It's 8:11. My lucky numbers. Unexplained mysteries. Bill Gates has just revealed this information and said that the world isn't ready for what's coming. What's ready? Let's see. Why is this so important to tell me?
In recent years, Bill Gates has been featured a lot in the mainstream media, and he said that he's trying his hardest to look out for the human race, and is trying to ensure that we get through these hardships as quickly as possible. He's dedicated his nearly limitless fortune and time into forming the non-profit organization known as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, named after himself and his previous wife, of whom helped to start the organization in order to help tackle a lot of the problems that plague the world that we see today. Not only has this proven to be an incredibly fruitful endeavor, causing dramatic changes in poor countries, as well as saving a countless amount of lives, but has led to incredible technological breakthroughs in the realm of sustainability and industrial revolution in poverty-stricken areas. The Gates Foundation has said the following on their website: to bring about the kind of changes that will help people live healthier and more productive lives, we seek to understand the world's inequities. Whether the challenge is low yield crops in Africa or low graduation rates in Los Angeles, we listen and learn so we can identify pressing problems that get too little attention. Then we consider whether we can make a meaningful difference with our influence and our investments, whether it's a grant or a contract. End quote. Gates has come forward over the years with many interesting predictions. He's vocal about the issues we are facing in the world, and has said that he's trying to work with the world's best researchers in order to tackle these. Back in 2018, various news outlets reported that he'd started working on a microchip. The microchip in question has been described as being tiny, around the size of a pepper flake. The idea behind this is that it would be embedded inside a patient and would be able to track their medical records, while also keeping them updated. William Grover, who works at the University of California, was given a grant from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Grover's lab is using microchips that will go directly into patients. Each of these microchips is unique, and the researchers have said that one of the benefits to this is that the patient's record will be much safer, and that clinical mistakes will be greatly reduced. Interestingly, it was announced back in 2018 that Swedish people were using these microchips instead of ID cards. Not long after, it was reported that a Swedish company started to ask its employees to have these microchips embedded underneath their skin. They said that one of the main benefits of this was that it helped with passing through locked doors and other secure places. It's believed that between 3,000 and 4,000 people have had a microchip installed in Sweden, and the chip is smaller than a single grain of rice.
Ali? Hugo?
The increase in people having chips installed under their skin has been on the increase over the last 3 years, with officials saying that the technology was first introduced in Sweden in 2015, and that they hope to bring this to the United States. One individual named Eureka said the following: "The microchip that's inside my hand has helped me to replace the need to carry around many daily necessities. This includes my office keycard and gym card. When I arrive at work, I simply have to wave my hand close to a box and then enter a code, and the door opens. It's very convenient and saves a lot of time." End quote.
But
This isn't the only thing that Bill Gates has funded. He's announced that he's backing a weather experiment called solar geoengineering. The idea of it is to mirror the effects of a volcanic eruption. When this was first announced, people were confused as to why this would come in handy.
right.
But the idea is that many planes around the world would spray chemicals into the atmosphere, and this would in turn create a massive chemical cloud that would help bring down the temperature of the Earth's surface. Andy Parker, who is a project director at the Solar Radiation Management Initiative, said the following: "Modeling studies have found that it could reduce the intensities of heat waves. For instance, apparently it could reduce the rate of sea level rise. It could reduce the intensity of tropical storms. However, the idea hasn't been welcomed with open arms,
No shit.
with some researchers saying that although the tech is affordable, it could cause massive weather effects
Right.
and even eradicate the blue sky." Orphan Steve Gardner said the following:
Why would we mess it up?
"These consequences might be horrific. They might involve things like mass famine, mass flooding, droughts of kinds that will affect very large populations." End quote. Bill Gates has also announced that he's backing a company by the name of Earth Now. This company is looking at putting a number of satellites in space that will provide live video in virtually real time. However, it very quickly started to get criticism, with some saying that these satellites could be used for other purposes.
Yeah. You think?
The pitch for the idea stated that they would create satellites that could see any corner of the globe and provide live videos with a delay of only around a second. It seems to have piqued the interest of investors, as it's already been announced that Airbus, the SoftBank and Bill Gates will be investing. The initial funding is set to focus primarily on maturing the overall system to deliver innovative and unique real-time Earth observation services. Although it sounds like we're years away from getting this, it's actually been reported that they plan to have these satellites around the Earth by 2021. Some of these satellites have already been deployed, and the highly advanced satellites that settle on our constellation within a few years. As mentioned, Bill Gates is one of the investors, and over the years he's done some incredible work. But the worry here is that the company has said that they want to sell the services to the government and enterprise clients. So what do you make of Bill Gates and the projects he's working on? And if you was offered a microchip by your company, would you accept it? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community.
So no. And then there was this other woman, this nurse that I was trying to, did I download it? Oh, my knee. Oh, my knee. Oh. There was this nurse who did this whole thing about the swabs, the pandemic test that you take, the swab that you put in your nose. There's something that has that's my ADD. I don't remember. Did I record her? I did. I recorded her.
Hi, this is Cassandra S. Dunn, your favorite registered nurse, coming to you live from an undisclosed location.
So this is already 11 minutes. And this might be a little bit longer one, but this might be titled as, I don't know. Do you believe?
I just wanted to let everybody know that not only am I a registered nurse for several decades, almost three, I'm also a certified federal medical investigator. I'm bringing you today information about the swab that is used to test for the current claimed pandemic. Facebook took down my previous video, just happened to disappear, so I'm bringing you another one. I'm also going to transfer this video to my website, purplelionproject.com, as soon as I'm done. So
I'm going to write that down. Purple Lion Project, because you know what? Purple Lion. Makes me think of the Lady Lions, my daughter's soccer team. And they are purple, and they are lions, just like Orlando City Soccer. Purple Lion.
it's not disappeared again. So the swabs that are used for testing, I have two of them here, made by different manufacturers.
Wait for it.
The first one is made by Ninbo HLS Medical Products, and it's made in China. On it, it says sterile/EO.
EO, that's it.
Keep that in mind, because I'm going to give additional information what the EO stands for.
Yeah, wait for it.
Here's the other one. This one is made by Miraclean Technology, and this is also
China.
made in China. It also says sterile/EO.
Get a white woman in your corner, one guy
So
said.
these are two different swabs that
Get
are
a white woman in
used
your corner.
deep into the nasal cavity, halfway up to your skull, to test for the current pandemic.
I've had 4
I don't want to
sinus
say the
surgeries.
name of it because I don't want to get banned again from
pandemic.
Facebook. So what is EO?
Is it?
EO stands for ethylene oxide. So these swabs are saturated with, coated with EO, ethylene oxide. So what is ethylene oxide? Per the United States Environmental Protection Agency,
If anybody wants this video, I'll send it to you.
the EPA classified ethylene oxide as a human carcinogen in December 2016. The EPA, as well as the International Agency for Research on Cancer and the National Toxicology Program, classifies ethylene oxide as a carcinogen to humans. Evidence in humans indicates that exposure to ethylene oxide by inhalation increases the risk of lymphoma cancers,
We need more of that.
and leukemias, and for females, breast cancer.
We need more of that.
Ethylene oxide is mutagenic, which means it can change the DNA in your cells. Children may be more susceptible to the harmful effects of mutagenic substances.
Don't test my kids. You know what? I'm going to text my ex right now. I'm going to tell him, please do not let Addison or Blaine get tested for COVID without talking to me first, comma, please. Put it in a please sandwich. Pretty please sandwich.
It also states here that acute inhalation exposure of workers to high levels of ethylene oxide has resulted in nausea, vomiting, neurological disorders, bronchitis, pulmonary edema, and emphysema. Some evidence exists indicating that inhalation exposure to ethylene oxide can cause an increased rate of miscarriages in female workers. Reproductive effects have been noted in inhalation. Exposure studies include
oh God, Mary Kate, I hope you're not getting tested.
And sperm concentration and testicular degeneration.
While you're pregnant.
Ethylene oxide has been shown to cause lymphoid cancer and tumors of the brain, lung, connective tissue, uterus, breasts in animals exposed to ethylene oxide by inhalation. So that's from the United States Environmental Protection Agency. This is from the Department of Health and Human Services on ethylene oxide. The DNA damaging activity of ethylene oxide explains its effectiveness as a sterilant, and this same property accounts for its carcinogenic risk to humans. This is from the Canadian version of OSHA. It's called the Canadian Centre for Occupational Health and Safety. This is their information about ethylene oxide. It states it's very toxic, causes cancer, changes in your genetics, and reproductive toxicity.
Sounds great, right?
It says it's very toxic, fatal if inhaled, may damage fertility, and causes genetic defects.
And we're shoving these up our nose. I'm
It also
not.
states that it's a carcinogen, known to cause reduced fertility.
And cancer. And cancer. And do you know how many... This video started off about Brian because that woman who I'm going to call, I'm going to reach out to her and talk to her because her name is Michelle. Clearly she's having a hard time. So Brian got tested so many times when he was at Shands Hospital. Did they use this product from China that has ethylene oxide on the swab? And how many times they shove that up his nose on top of giving him 10 electric shock therapy sessions? How many times are they trying to kill him and he keeps living? He's a genius, okay? He's got a couple doctorates. He is a doctor of science, medical. He is a genius. He is a beautiful person. Manipulative, yes, because he's genius. And they're trying to kill him. Or at least kill his genius. And I'm not alone in this. He's got friends, he's got people who have talked to him, who know him. I just deleted a video off of my phone, otherwise I would show it to you now. Vern. He's the only bad V that I've ever met. Vern. And I won't forget, because there's one Vern that I loved in Trading Spaces. I love this interior designer Vern. But this Vern that I met, military Vern, 5-star General Vern, who left the nastiest bruise on Brian's arm, and I've got it on video. I'm done. I'm done sitting around not doing anything, not saying anything. I'm going to get up, I'm going to stand up, and I'm doing things. All of my videos before have been about me evolving. Well, guess what? This woman is now going to be standing up and doing things more. I'm going to be doing more while I'm still trying to get my shit straight. I'm going to be doing things. I had to retire from benefit plan administration for 21 years. But before that, I did other things. I worked at Alma Rent-A-Car for 5 years. 3 different cities. 3. I know a lot. Been working since I was 14. And I know I grew up Army brat. I just happened to wear this to go drop my dog off to get fixed. And then the series of events that have happened this morning have led me to right here, right now. Jesus Jones. Right here, right now. Also makes me think of The Greatest Showman. Because I watched so much TV. I listen to so much music. I'm brainwashed. And I'm crazy like the glue. The glue that holds this family together. The glue that also knows when to just step back and let my family do their thing. My brothers, Steve, Mike, you do you. I'm taking care of myself. I'm taking care of my mother. And I'm taking care of my father. My father has Alzheimer's. Lieutenant Colonel Greening. Going downhill. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to get sad. My mom and I are survivors. We've survived so much. And now we've got each other. And it was hard. I'm not going to lie. It was hard. The things that I've been through, the things that my mother's been through, the things that my father has been through. I'm one tough cookie. I'm one tough cookie. Born in 73, came out in 21. Came out in May. As a thespian. As a divorcee! No offense to my ex. He was a great guy. He is a great guy. He still is. He's just not for me. Tuesday, you can have him. Tuesday, he's all yours. Tuesday, please take care of my ex-husband, Jim. Thank you. But my kids are my kids. Your kids are your kids. Okay, Tuesday? Now to my son's friend, Tuesday. Not you. This isn't you. Blaine's father is dating a Tuesday. Yep. And my niece, Stella Rose, she's going to be Wednesday. And Halloween. Which, I don't know what day that falls into, but... one moment at a time. This video, if you're interested in seeing the whole thing, it's almost 8 minutes long. I have digestive issues. My dog's getting fixed today, on October 7th, and I have an endoscopy scheduled with an ultrasound. And I'm going to document my journey, and I'm not doing it for anybody except for my kids. Because if something happens to me and I'm gone, they'll at least know where I was, where my headspace was, and what I was trying to accomplish. And so maybe somebody could pick up where I left off if something happens to me. This is my life. Michael Keaton did a movie called My Life, and he was dying of cancer. And he did his life in VHS tapes, because that's what it was back then. My life. Look it up. I'm living punchline. Well, I'm not actually still married. And have I met a Tom Hanks? Maybe. Am I Sally Field? Would love to be in her presence, because Sally Field, I bow down to you. Sally Field, you. Steel Magnolias. You got to work with all those fantastic women. Anyway, and I was in Steel Magnolias in high school. Whatever. That was Weezer. Shaka, Shirley MacLaine. Love you. So, I'm going to end this video and I'm going to post it on YouTube. And then I'm going to link my post to Facebook. And I'm going to see if there's anybody who even gets to the end of this video, because here's the test. On this dating app that I'm on currently, there's only one now. I dwindle it down to one. There's tests. And the guys keep asking, what's my test? What's my test? I'm like, you'll know when the time comes. You don't ask Yoda questions, do you? No, Yoda gives advice. Yoda will just tell you. If you are a Star Wars fan, Star Trek fan, Nanu, Mork and Mindy, you know where I'm coming from, okay? This is what I grew up on. This is what I know. I'm an Army brat. I was born in Fort Ord, California. Fort Ord, military base, no longer active. My father served 23 years in the military, in the Army. Don't try to pull one over saying that you are in peacekeeping, in Africa, in Somalia, in these other countries that I know you're not military, because I ask you questions, because I know Marines, I know Navy, I know Air Force, I know them all. Don't fake with me. You'll get busted. Dopey. Dopey. Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club? Jim Carrey gave a tremendous inspirational speech at a college. I will too one day. Probably UCF, even though I didn't go to UCF. But do you have to graduate from there to give them an inspirational speech? I don't think so. But what I am going to do, I'm going to do a TED Talks. I'm going to do a TED Talks on survivors. All kinds of survivors. We are survivors of everything. And if you can survive getting a swab shoved up your nose, and potentially from China that has ethylene oxide, look on there. If it says EO on the swab, don't do it. I'm not doing it. Nope. I've had 4 sinus surgeries. I am OG snack girl, okay? First surgery, snack girl style, was after my daughter, nope, it was before my daughter was born. 2005. Surgery number 1. 05. After 04. 04 was a hellacious year for me. It was good and bad. It started off good, and then it got bad. Totaled my car. Broke up with my boyfriend Mark. 4 hurricanes. Brother broke his neck. Grandmother died. Then I met my ex-husband. Went into a cocoon, marriage bubble. Oh, stability. I'm a single mom and I got stability. To a great guy. He wanted a kid. I wanted a kid. We had a beautiful little angel. My daughter is super special. Everybody says that about their kids. Mine's no exception. You need to take care of your children. Support them. No matter who they are, what they are, who they like, or what they like. They're your child. Take care of them. Captain Mama.